Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games, back with another really cool arcade game video for you this evening. We thought we would film a little video and show this one off a little bit because it's kind of an interesting cabinet. This is a Nintendo Donkey Kong 3, which is a great game, and we've filmed videos of that on here before. You can find on our channel. But the interesting thing about this one is that it's in Nintendo's famous red cabinet. So check this out. We figured we'd just show a little bit of the difference in the red one. Most people have seen the blue cabinet, which is Donkey Kong, and most people have seen the orange cabinet, which is Donkey Kong Jr., but this is the red one. I don't know how red it'll come out in this video. It might look orange. Kind of looks orange in my viewfinder here because of our lighting, but it's red, believe me. So the story behind these, you've probably heard, is that originally these were radar scope games from the early 80s, and radar scope was kind of big in Japan, but it didn't do that well in America. So there was about 3,000 of them, and sales weren't very good. So they took 2,000 of the radar scopes and they turned them into Donkey Kongs. So the guy that was running the Nintendo of America at the time, him and his wife and a couple people converted them all in the factory. So they took all the radar scope stuff out and put all the Donkey Kong stuff in and left the red cabinet just so they could get rid of the cabinets. So the reason this one is a Donkey Kong 3, so what this could be, just the red cabinet tells you that it could be a radar scope that actually was sold as a radar scope that got turned into a Donkey Kong 3, or it could be a radar scope that was turned into a Donkey Kong and then got turned into a Donkey Kong 3. So we looked on the back. Now on the back, of course, it's got the DKC one. You know what? I didn't think about. Yeah, that's the number for Donkey Kong 3, I believe, isn't it? The model number. But we'll look inside of it here and show you what's going on. It's built a little heftier than some of the other Nintendo cabinets. We saw a couple little differences. It's got this, it had this manual in it, which is the Donkey Kong 3 manual to convert Nintendo Pack installation and operation manual for Donkey Kong Jr., Donkey Kong, or Popeye. So this was the manual that you got with when you bought a kit to convert a Donkey Kong into Donkey Kong 3. Again, making us think that this was a Donkey Kong. Also, the power supply is a little different than what we usually see in the Nintendos. We were thinking maybe there's just a plate missing off the top, but I don't think so, because I don't think most of them, when we get them, have these ribbon cables inside the power supply. So I think that's like the early, like, radar scope-ish power supply. Not positive, but some of you experts out there can probably tell me. And then the transformer's a little different too. On a Nintendo, it usually doesn't have that big of a transformer. So we imagine that that's kind of the radar scope stuff as well. And over here, you've got the board. For a while, we were thinking maybe it was just a dedicated Donkey Kong 3. Maybe they had made some more red cabinets and made Donkey Kong 3 in the red cabinet. But since we've got the manual, that's a conversion manual, and then also over here, we've got a couple holes that we found, which would have been where the brackets mount to mount like the Donkey Kong board. So we're thinking that kind of proves it was originally Donkey Kong after it was a radar scope. And then also on the back of the door, you've got, if you look real close, you can see where there was another one stapled at some time, backdoor sheet. Dun, dun, dun. And then I think under it we saw something too. Where it was originally had a different sheet on it. So we believe this was a radar scope that was converted to Donkey Kong. And again, I got to see if DKC1 UP.US is Donkey Kong 3. I believe it is. It says number of players per game, when you get an extra player, additional extra player, difficulty level, coins per credit, game and test, upright or table, etc., etc., etc. So what I'll do is I'll look that up real quick and then finish the video, and I believe that means Donkey Kong 3, because I think the Donkey Kong one is DKTG, I believe. So we'll see, but I'll be back in a second. We'll check that out. Okay, folks, so I looked it up. Yeah, DKC1 is kind of irrelevant to this because it's just the Donkey Kong 3 serial number. So the back door sheet is also from Donkey Kong 3. So basically what they did was a really good version of the kit. And this has the PAK on it, which means that it's the conversion kit, which wasn't necessarily for this cabinet. So what we figured out is that basically there's no evidence that this was a Donkey Kong. It could have just been a radar scope the whole time. But it is the cool red cabinet. So I did find one other thing. I'm going to turn the camera upside down. Hope you didn't get seasick. And on the bottom of this board is Nintendo's triangle that they put on things. Watch our video. Go find our video for Space Firebird, and you'll see that triangle underneath the top of the cocktail on the Space Triangle. Space Firebird. And it says 1567 underneath that board. Down here it says 4333 on that. There is a little stamp over here by the power plug that says 2138. Usually all that kind of stuff is just stuff they put on in the factory. That doesn't, you notice they don't match or anything, so it's just, it's not really all that important. And another thing, it has the 5-slot front. Some of those are 7, and then it has the double coin door with 2 coin mechs. I don't know if all radar scopes or just most of the radar scopes only had 1 slot on the coin door. So basically I'm trying to figure out if this was ever a radar scope out on location or if it was one of the ones that they converted to Donkey Kong. So I don't really know. And if you we looked real close at the front, and you could see there were 2 of the little coin stickers. It says insert coin. There was one right there and one right there for that one. So, oh, another thing we noticed that was a little different. The coin box is slightly different. On most of them it's made of this same wood, but on this one it's got like a white, the coin box is white. The little handle's been ripped off at some point. And it's got the Asahi Seiko coin mechs, or Sahi, how do you pronounce it? I'm sure somebody out there is telling me right now how to pronounce it. But anyway, this front has been repainted, by the way, because there's some stuff that's bondoed up, and the grill was broke up a little bit, and it's been bondoed up and repainted. But I did a pretty decent job on it. So there you go. It's a red Donkey Kong 3. I think they look really good in the red cabinet. And if you had a Donkey Kong in the blue cabinet and a Donkey Kong Jr. in the orange cabinet, why not have a Donkey Kong 3 in the red cabinet? So it just fits the art well, you know. They did a good job with it. But at one point this would have been a radar scope, either in the factory or out on location. So all right, well there you go. We just thought you might want to take a look at that since it's a little different than the other ones, and kind of a novelty. So enjoy the video and subscribe to us. So every time we get in something cool, we've got an arcade here, or not an arcade, but a video game store here with tons of arcade games in it. Every time we get in something cool, we'll film a video of it. So we will see you on that next video. Let us know your comments below too.